My name's Phillips and I'm a professional golfer and I work at Duke's Meadows Golf Range in Chiswick. The first time I discovered golf actually was at work with my father on a Saturday morning. On the way home we drove past a 9-hole pitch and putt course and we both just thought we'd go and have a go. That was it really, just we both really loved it and it went from there. I'd always been very competitive, so the main reason I wanted to play golf for a living was because I'd seen the professionals on television and it all looked quite glamorous, and I just thought, yeah, I'd really love to do that. There was a tradition of professional sport in my family as such. My father was an international judo competitor, so very, very competitive nature, even though it's a completely different sport. I was fairly academic. I was in all the top sets as I progressed through school, but once I'd decided that golf was going to be my future, obviously I didn't pursue further education, so I very much put all my eggs in one basket. And I was actually very lucky because my headmaster was a mad keen golfer. There was an arrangement struck with the school whereby I had certain afternoons to go and play golf and practice golf, because that was where they knew my career was headed. My father ran a building firm in West London and my mother was a full-time housewife. My father had always worked very hard his whole life running a business, and so I think he very much was prepared to back me in anything that I put my mind to. I was just very, very lucky to have two really hard-working, kind parents that really believed in me and gave me the impetus that I needed to really start my career. I wouldn't say I missed out on the sort of teenage culture by not going to college or university. When I was 16, 17, I was travelling to places like Iceland and playing for England and mixing with all the other teenagers that were coming from all the other different countries. So I was interacting with other people and certainly didn't miss out on anything like that. There's been lots of highlights. I won the Portuguese Open in 1999. Lots of other, third in the French Open in 1998. So there's been lots of nice moments in tournaments. Obviously there's a huge feeling of elation and achievement, and it can be hard to temper that with the following weeks, that obviously everything after a win, unless you win again and again and again, everything's a slight come down from that. About a year ago I had a torn cartilage in my right hip. Eventually it became apparent that I needed to do something about it. So I had the operation last March, but unfortunately it took 9 months to rehabilitate. So at the end of that I decided that after 15 years of touring, I'd quite like to refocus and move more into the coaching side of things. I've definitely no regrets about anything. I set out to achieve certain things, and I would probably say I got 90% there. Obviously, I wish I could have achieved 100%, but I wouldn't say it would be a regret. In the next 5 or 10 years, I'd like to sort of take all the drive that I had as a player and put that into my coaching. It's very much the same psychology, it's just I'm applying it to a different area of my life. So I'm still very competitive. I'd still like to be one of the best coaches. Now I'm not playing. I definitely consider myself to be extremely lucky, yeah, extremely lucky that I chose something that I love to do and I was able to make a living from that. So yeah, I'd say I'm very lucky.